5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for
David Wright.
David Wright.
David.
A very good afternoon and welcome to The Right Way with me, David Wright, here on Al Maria Radio 107.5 FM. And a big thank you, as always, to John Alex. Thank you, John, keeping us entertained this afternoon. The comment section has rebooted. Come and say hi. Come and keep me company for the next hour here on Al Maria Radio. Lots more tips and advice on living and working in Spain. And I've got a special guest on the show today. I've got Alejandro Salvador from Salvador Tax and Legal joining me a little bit later on. Alejandro, as you know, is also the honorary British consulate for Almeria. He's got some news for us all here on the show this afternoon. Also I've got some great music as well, kicking us off today with a Spanish one.
You're listening to The Right Way with David Wright in the afternoon on Almeria Radio 107.5 FM. The comment section is open, so come say hi to David right now.
Very good afternoon to John Alex joining us in the comment section. Afternoon, Sylvia, how are you doing out there? And Jono, hi Jono, the Grinch, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. The comment section has rebooted. Come and say hi, come and keep me company this afternoon. And giving away free tickets as well, thanks to the sponsors of my show. Indalo Transport and Storage, free tickets to a place, and some more of that coming up a little bit later on in the show as well. And my live guest, Alejandro, will be here shortly, so stay tuned for that. Big banking news, big news, it didn't come about. The banking community are talking about this. 17 months in the preparation, the BBVA, one of the biggest banks in Spain, was going to take over Sabadell here in Spain. They've been trying to do it for a long time now, 17 months of talks and planning, and it's all fallen through. That's all been put on hold now. It's not going through at all. It would have created one of Europe's biggest banking systems here. Very big banks. I've banked with both of those two. Actually, BBVA, I had an account with them many years ago over in the Canary Islands, but they're pushing ahead to try and take up some of smaller banks. But this would have been a real big merger if they'd taken on that. But it's not quite dead yet. It's on hold, I think, as they call it here in Spain. But there you go. And some more news about bullfighting as well. So there was 660,000 people have signed and put in these petitions to stop bullfighting at the Congress, and Spain's Congress has refused point blank to even sit down and talk about having a debate about protection of the bullfighting. They will not be banning it. They will not even sit down and talk or discuss anything to do with banning it at all. So that's a very hard no on banning bullfighting in Spain. So what do you reckon on that then? Have you ever been to a bullfight in Spain? Good or bad? What do you think? Do you think it should be banned? Let us know in the comment section. Okay,
Live.
David Wright.
David.
The Afternoon Show.
Hi, this is Alan G. Join me for a brand new show on a Friday night, 8 till 10, Club Life. Taking you on a journey through soulful, funky and deep house vibes, some new disco, and of course dropping your favourite club classics from yesteryear. Live on Almeria 107.5. That's Friday, Club Life, 8 till 10. Join me.
You're listening to The Right Way with me, David Wright, here on Almeria Radio 107.5 FM. It's Friday. Lots going on at the weekend. Tell you all about that a little bit later on. And meet up this weekend and next week, early part next week, I'll be down in Malaga for a few days. So if anyone's in the Malaga area, want to meet up even, let me know in the comment section, and maybe can arrange to meet up. Meeting a few people down there already, so there's always time to meet up with some of the listeners if you're in the Malaga area for next week. Okay, so talking about Malaga, a bit of a chaos at the airports at the moment with this new ETIAS system. This is the new entry and exit system that has started to come in at airports, ports and entry systems here in all over the borders of Spain. Malaga has reported massive delays and tailbacks in the queues, up to an hour and a half. Some people have missed flights with this new ETIAS system checking in. So you need to check in with your passport and your fingerprint fingerprints and takes photographs of your face recognition, all that sort of thing. So it's triple checks at the moment, and this is starting to roll out all over Spain. It's going to be starting in different places at different times. Malaga has started it this week, and there's some reports of people having an hour or more delays at check-in, so be aware of that. Some people have said that they've missed their flights due to this, so make sure if you're travelling, especially in the airports, that you do check in a little bit earlier than normal. And be prepared for this new ETIAS system. It's going to go on like this for another 6 months, and then it should settle down a bit after that. But the new entry-exit system here in Spain is causing problems in Malaga at the moment. If you've been through the airport controls and you've had any of this experience, let us know in the comment section how it went for you. Did it go smoothly, or was there any delays? It's supposed to be for air benefit, for security and stuff like that, but it's all part of the digital security that's bringing in all over Spain. So yeah, let us know in the comment section. Let's have another Spanish.
The Afternoon Show.
David Wright. Help and advice for living and working in Spain. You're listening to The Right Way. The Right Way with David Wright.
Yeah, so talking about bullfights here in Spain, and yeah, it's pretty cruel. You got to admit it's terrible. But Spain a couple of years ago passed some crazy new laws that made animals sentient beings and have feelings here. But that only applies to some animals, apparently. The pet shops here have closed down all over the place because they're not allowed to sell cats and dogs and things like that in the pet shops now. Most reptiles have been banned from sale, and you can't get certain types of animals here in Spain. Very, very strict rules and regulations. And if you've been in any of the shops or shopping centres here in Spain, you'll know that you're allowed to take your pets into the shops now. There's people walking around most of the shops with cats and dogs. I can't quite see the need to take them into supermarkets and stuff like that, but there you go. But when it comes to bullfighting, they won't even talk about it. Spain have totally rejected to even sit down and have any discussions at all, with over 500,000 people petitioning every year, protest all over Spain, and the Congress have said that they do not even want to sit down and discuss going forward in banning bullfighting here in Spain. So there you go. So it seems that Spain care about some animals, but others not so much. There you go. So live guest in the show after this.
Live.
David Wright. David Wright.
David.
The Afternoon Show.
Okay, so on my show today, I've got a very special guest. I've got Alejandro Salvador from Salvador Tax and Legal. As most of you know, Alejandro is also the honorary British consulate for Almeria. So hi and welcome to the show, Alejandro.
Hello, David. Thanks for bringing me to your show.
So Alejandro, there's a big event coming up in the Almeria area next week. So can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Well, this is something that is not new. We've been doing this event for many years since I opened my office in Mojaca. My intention with that is always to try to inform people about things that are important for those that are looking to live in Spain or already living here. And we talk about anything that they may need when they are looking to come, like visas or residencies. This is more or less focused to British, so we spoke about the problems of now that is to get a normal residence compared with how it was when UK was in the European Union. We also talk about your legal obligations as a citizen in Spain, inheritance, how to prepare your when you are living, and then we always have a Q&A that it's always longer than my talk. So I think people go happy because it's for free, of course, and it's a good opportunity to know the people worries and to try to solve some questions that they may have in their minds.
So this is a live event here in Allbox on the 14th, is that correct?
That's correct. We are doing on the 14th of November, 10:30 in the morning, and we are doing that in a place that is called Without Walls Community. It's like it's in Allbox, in Calle Arrabal, number 20. So everyone that would like to come is invited. They just need to register in the number that, or the WhatsApp number, or the email that you can give to your audience, and yeah.
Yeah, so I've been to a few of these events, and they're very interesting. You learn a lot of information there, but I think this one's almost booked up, isn't it, Alejandro?
Yeah, we are almost full. Yeah, we always want to give a margin for those that finally they can't come, so they could be some small spaces. But yes, this time we are fully booked.
Well, with more people contemplating moving out to Spain from the UK with what's going on there at the moment, I think they'll be even more popular in the future. So thanks very much for that, Alejandro. I'll leave a link in the comment section. Anybody that's interested in going, and your contact details. Thanks for joining us today on The Right Way, and have a great weekend.
The same. Thank you, David. Bye-bye.
Someone Like You, and that was Adele there. Fantastic voice. Okay, so this Sunday is Remembrance Sunday, remembering the 11th, and I just want to talk a little bit about this because it's always big in my mind, because my father was a Lancaster gunner in the Lancaster Cruise in the Second World War. He'd been dead for about 15 years now, I think, my dad, but it's something that he used to talk about in the last few years, only really in the last few years before he died. But it's amazing that, there was, on the Lancaster bomber in Second World War, there was 7 crew members. There was a pilot, the navigator, flight engineer, a bomb aimer, a wireless operator, and a mid gunner and a rear gunner. My dad was on the rear guns and on the top guns as well. The average age of the crew members was 19 to 21. And my dad said that on his plane, the eldest person of the 7 crew was 21 years old. That was the pilot, 21. And none of them at that time had a driving license. They never passed a driving test, but there you go. So, yeah, the life expectancy of the flight crew of a Lancaster bomber was 2 weeks. Does that sink in? 2 weeks. Of the 120,000 bomber crews, there was 55,000. That was over almost 50% were killed in action. 50%. That was the biggest losses in all the war of flight crews in Bomber Command. And imagine it, 19, 20 years old, flying a Lancaster bomber over Germany. And what some people don't know as well, at the end of the war, my dad was flying over Russia as well. They were bombing Russia as well. So one of the good stories my dad used to tell me was at the end of the war, he was supposed to do 30 odd missions. He did 36 missions in total, and he was actually shot down twice, crash landed, and survived that. I've still got the pictures on my office wall of his medals, and a picture of his plane that he jumped out of at the last minute and walked away from it. They all walked away without a scratch. So there you go. So amazing. You've got to remember these people, what they did for us to give us our freedom, and it's something that we should really never forget and pass it on down in the generations. So Remembrance Day this Sunday, but it's actually on Tuesday the 11th of November, so make sure you go and buy your poppy, or at least have a couple of minutes silence to remember these true heroes.
David Wright, help and advice for living and working in Spain. You're listening to The Right Way. The Right Way with David Wright.
So if you're in the Arbelayas area, remember the Alejandro event on the 14th of November. These are very informative events, and there's going to be a lot of people there at this event, but there's still places available if you want to go along to this event. Alejandro also is a tax expert and residency expert here, as well as being the honorary British consulate for Almeria. And as he said earlier, the talk is about an hour long, but the questions go on about an hour afterwards. Lots of people have lots of questions, more personal questions. So if you've got a question, a problem, anything like that, you can go along and speak to Alejandro live at this event, and you will learn a lot. Even if you've been living in Spain a long time, I've been to a lot of these events and I'm still learning new things about living and working in Spain. Very interesting as well. So go along to this event. The details for that are in the comments section now. There's a phone number. You can book your spot. It's completely free, so I suggest going along. And I'll be there as well, so come along and say hi to me as well. Houdini there by Dua Lipa. So thanks to my sponsor today, Indalo Transport and Storage. If you want to get some free tickets to A Place in the Sun events, there's several events over the course of the next year in the UK and Ireland. So go and speak to Paul over at Indalo Transport. He will give you as many free tickets as you want. There's no catch. All you need to do is go over to his website, put in your email, or give Paul a ring, and he'll give you free tickets to A Place in the Sun. It's a great way of finding about information and living and working in Spain, and that is from Paul at Indalo Transport. Details in the comment section now. Tina Turner there and GoldenEye. That's a bit more like it. Okay, so Sylvia's house hunting again, and good on you, Sylvia. There's plenty out there. It's a buyer's market at the moment, I think, and you'll find what's right for you. Now, sometimes you can find something quite quickly. Sometimes if it's not there, it's not there. It's all in the cards, I think, and the right place is always out there for you. I remember how frustrated I was when I first moved here. I saw a couple of places I wanted, fell through, and things didn't work out right. But in the end, I got there, I found the place that was right for me, and I've moved 7 times in my life, and it's always a bit of a stressful thing. But I got a post on my website the other day about where you can move to in Spain, some of the different areas and that, and there are some amazing deals in the north of Spain at the moment. You can get properties for as little as €1, believe it or not. Yeah, it's crazy. So what's the catch? Well, it's a remote area, and the places need doing up. Some of the smaller villages up in the north of Spain, very picturesque, very beautiful places up in Navarra, up in that area. There's places where you can go and live in the village, and if you take on a house there that needs renovating, some of them are livable, they just need renovating, the councils will pay you up to €3,000 per person to go and live there in the house, and you get help with the building costs and things like that. So I've got a post on my website about this. There's several places in Spain that are doing this. The idea is that some of these smaller remote villages are losing the younger generation, so they're trying to draw some people back, put some money back into the villages, and so they're offering some fantastic deals. Also, if you have a baby in some of these places, some of us might be a bit too old for that, but they're paying up to €3,000 to have a baby born in the village. So if you're a young couple thinking about moving there, you could double your money straight away, move there and have a baby. You get €3,000 for moving there, €3,000 for the baby, and get help with grants on doing the property up. Also, if you're running a business in these villages, there are grants and start-up schemes to help people, or to try and drum up some more money into the local coffers of these villages. And then it's not just 1 or 2 villages, there's several of these villages doing this. Several cities are doing it as well on the outskirts of the cities, to bring back some people into these rural areas. And if you want to find out more information, that is a blog post I did about that with some links, so you can go and see all the information about that over on my website. That's davidwrightonline.com.
Broadcasting
and advice for living and working in Spain. You're
on Almeria Radio. Up next is the 5 o'clock hit mix with Rob Mack. And don't forget that big event in Allbox with Alejandro Salvador, the honorary British consulate. So go along to that. There's going to be lots of information there. Thanks for listening in, and have a great weekend. Up next, it's the 5 o'clock hit mix with Rob Mack. Stay tuned.
That's all, folks.